Report on wealth suggests some middle and lower income Canadians are getting poorer, while the richest Canadians are better off than ever. According to the Broadbent Institute, in 2012, the top 10% of Canadians controlled half of all the wealth in Canada, with a median net worth of $2.1 million, an increase of 42% from 2005. But half of the population owned just 6% of the wealth. And the poorest of the poor saw their net worth plummet to negative $5,100, a drop of more than 150% from 7 years earlier, leaving them with even more debts than assets. It all shows the gap between rich and poor in Canada is as wide and as pervasive as ever. Cameron McIntosh reports.
Yes, Karen HOERSCH is working, but she isn't getting ahead.
I'm working poor.
A few years ago, she had a full-time, middle-income construction job. An injury set her back. Now she's working in a kitchen of a food bank.
When I was making a lot of money, I didn't think about, the poor, the working poor. I didn't think about any of that.
A new analysis of wealth by a think tank close to the NDP suggests more Canadians should.
The bottom 50% of Canadians own only 6% of the wealth in the country.
It's actually been like that since 1999. As a whole, the wealth of Canadians is growing, but the poorest, those in debt, are losing ground.
The picture that really emerges is of most people being stuck.
Among the top half of Canadians, it starts to grow, but that's driven largely by real estate in markets like Calgary, Toronto, and Vancouver. Beyond homes and pensions, very few Canadians have many assets.
Thank you very much.
The government has always said the best way to help the middle class is through tax breaks and job creation, a point made again with those EI cuts.
We believe it will also encourage growth and employment opportunities.
But overall, there's evidence the middle class's grip on its wealth isn't all that strong. A payroll study this week shows most Canadians would have trouble covering their bills if their paychecks were delayed by just a week. No surprise back at the food bank.
If people aren't forced to save, they find that by the time they pay all the other bills, they don't have any money left over for saving.
Those that are saving or investing are the best off. Of course, most of those are in the top 10%, which controls half of the country's wealth. Cameron McIntosh, CBC News, Winnipeg.